Guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, you are very welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your loyalty and your love. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how I make my Oreo milkshake that has like Baileys in it. So it's like a Baileys infused Oreo milkshake. Every single thing we are going to be using in this video is already displayed on the table, so I'm going to be guiding you through these simple steps and you'll be learning how I make my Oreo milkshake. So without further ado, let's begin. So guys, I've displayed every single thing we are going to be needing for our milkshake on the table, and it's very clear for you guys to see. So we are going to be talking about each and every one of them one after the other. And the first thing we are going to need is of course our jar, and this is where we are going to be putting like our milkshake. And then the next thing we're going to be needing is of course some vanilla ice cream, and you can get any vanilla ice cream you want. You don't have to be specific with this one. And next we're going to be needing some milk, preferably the liquid milk. Besides that, we're going to be needing some toppings, and I decided to get the caramel flavor topping. You can get any topping of your choice, but caramel is my favorite, so I just got that instead. Besides that, we're going to be needing of course some whipped cream, and this is a very important ingredient for the milkshake because it helps it look very pretty. So yeah, then after that we're going to be needing some Oreos, and this is also another major ingredient in our milkshake. And besides that, we're going to be needing some sprinkles, and I got both the chocolate and the rainbow sprinkles, and we're going to be using this to design our milkshake. And then last but not least, our most important ingredient, the Baileys Irish cream. Yeah, so this is every single thing you need to make the milkshake. First off guys, we are going to be getting our ice cream from the freezer. So now that everything is out, we can finally start making our milkshake. Blender all clean and prepped. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all take out the blade. If you don't have a blender that looks like this, you can use a bowl for what I'm about to do. So you can get like a normal bowl or directly use a blender that's kind of not too deep, and you can be able to like reach the ends if you use a spoon. So the first thing we are going to be grabbing is our vanilla ice cream, and we'll be putting as much as we possibly can because this is like the major ingredient to our milkshake. So you can see this consistency, it's frozen properly, so it's going to make sure that our milkshake turns out to be very thick. So the next thing you want to add is some milk, depending on what you like. Me personally, I like my milkshake to be very thick, so you have to really go easy on the milk and make sure you don't put too much. So I'm just going to be putting very little over at this area here. The next thing we are going to need is of course our Oreos, and I bought the two flavors. I bought the chocolate flavored Oreos, and then I bought the classic one that has like the normal white cream. So I'm going to be mixing these two, and you don't want to break them up too much, just a little, because this also helps to thicken up your milkshake. Just cut it in halves and drop them like so. Our most interesting ingredient, of course, the next thing are Baileys original Irish cream, and you have to be careful with the amount of Baileys you put in your milkshake. We don't want you putting too much so you don't get your guests a little tipsy, because of course some of them will have to drive home, and because of that I'll be putting just 2 cupfuls of Baileys. Trust me, you're still going to taste the Baileys in the milkshake. Oopsies, I kind of overdid it there, so I think this is enough. This is what we have. Why I didn't start blending this immediately is because I like to first of all mix it up with my hands. I like to get the Oreos really mixed up in there, because if I do this with the blender itself, then it's going to require me doing a lot of blending, and if I put it in the blender for too long, then it's going to become too liquid. So because I've already done most of the work myself by mixing, I don't have to blend it for too long. So everything is in there. So we are just going to get the lid of our blender. I'm going to cover that up like so. Put the lid. So now we have everything in our blender. Now let's go over to the kitchen area where I can plug this in. So now that we are a little up close, I'm going to be showing you guys how to properly blend your milkshake so it becomes really thick. Already mixed everything up with our hands, so the only thing you require to do with the blender is just to chop the Oreos up into tiny pieces, but not too smooth. You should still be able to see the Oreo chunks in your milkshake, and we don't want to mix up that ice cream too much as well, so it doesn't become too liquidy. We are just going to blend for intervals of 5 seconds. So this is our first try. We still have very large chunks, so we just want to blend this one more time. Oreos has properly broken down further, but we can still see those chunks. So this is the texture we should try to achieve when we're making a milkshake. So you can see it's quite thick. So this is the jar we are going to be using, and we are going to be decorating the jar and making it look very attractive, so when the milkshake is done, it's going to look very delicious and very yummy. Of course, if you don't have this jar, you can use like a normal glass. We're going to be taking our caramel topping. It doesn't have to be caramel as well. You can use chocolate, strawberry, whatever you have available. So guys, we are just going to be taking the jar, and we're going to be taking our caramel topping, and very carefully we are going to press on the caramel topping. Not too much pressure, but just enough, and we are going to make the caramel drip down the glass. Look at that. To make sure that you've put it on every side. Okay, I think this isn't too bad. I like how they're all at different points. Looks very nice. The next thing we are going to be doing involves our sprinkles. We have the chocolate sprinkles and we have the rainbow sprinkles. I'm going to be using both actually, because I couldn't decide which one to use. So you just want to take an empty plate like so. Then you want to go back in with your caramel topping. So I'm just rubbing that around the perimeter of the glass. If it's not enough, you can go back in and put more. Next, I'm going to go in with my rainbow sprinkles. Of course, your white plate should be underneath to catch the sprinkles as they're falling. We are going to be taking the rainbow sprinkles, and we are going to be sprinkling them around the jar. So the caramel topping helps it stick to the jar, so you want to make sure you have a lot of caramel topping on there. That looks so nice, guys. Take a look. Wow. We have our sprinkle decorated jar, and we have our milkshake. We are then going to be pouring the milkshake into our jar. This is what it looks like, all filled up. We are not done, because the last thing we have to do is to go in with, of course, our whipped cream to top everything all up. We are just going to give that a nice good shake, and we are going to take that and we are going to swirl it around the top of our milkshake. We are going to go back in with are chocolate sprinkles this time. To look more extra, you can open up your Oreo like so, break it in half, and you just want to fix it in. Of course, last but not least, you want to top everything up with your straw. So guys, this is how you make the perfect milkshake for your parties, for your events, for your children's parties, of course, without alcohol. So guys, our milkshake is all done. This was what we were able to achieve. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope this recipe was very easy for you to follow. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to join my family by subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.